Hey Spartans! Are you trying to figure out where Gna is or how to beat her? Just like Sigrun in God of War 2018, this Valkyrie Queen is no joke, and she packs quite a punch. She's even got some new tricks up her sleeves, but fear not, because I got you covered. In this video, we're going to be going over how to find her and some tips and tricks on how to beat her so you come out on top. So go ahead and grab your Leviathan axe and let's get going. I'm going to be going over the Gna fight that you can actually do at the end of the game once you beat God of War Ragnarok. And in order to get to this area, you can actually go right here where my cursor is, but it keeps jumping. But right here, there should be a little opening that looks like it's an Asgard colored area, like that stuff over there. And you can eventually make your way over here. And you will unlock the fight with Gna, and we'll go ahead and go over just some tips and tricks. If you've seen my Sigrun guide, it'll be very reminiscent, except one thing that we won't have is our very overpowered light runic attack. In this case, all we're using here is Nord's Tempest, simply just for the damage, but also it's quick. Same with this one. These are meant for interrupts. We want to be able to interrupt her attacks in case we can't dodge it. So these are really good. Aside from that, we're just going to be using the good old maxed Leviathan axe, and I just have a Stonecutter's knob because ultimately we're just going to be doing pretty much Souls-like attacks where you're just dodging and attacking when you have an opening, dodging, attacking when you have an opening, and just keep rinse and repeat. That's ultimately our goal. I don't really use anything else. If you want to see what other runics I have, I might use Helios Flare if she's ranged and far away. Helios Flare is really good because you can attack from far away. It's your only, to my knowledge, your only ranged light runic attack that you can use to help interrupt things. Draupnir Spear, these I just have stuff that's just meant for damage. I will occasionally throw this one in just because it's really good damage to throw in. And then you can detonate when you do both. You could, first do this one, detonate, then do this one, and then detonate. So back-to-back detonation. For my Rond, I have the 9 realms, and as you could tell probably from my armor, we're doing a realm shift build. And because we're dodging and just trying to do Souls-like objective here, I found that using the 9 realms armor, or in this case, the Radiance armor, to get realm shift is really strong. And you'll see what I mean here in a second. These are the amulets that I have. This for last second dodge, again just emphasizing the dodge stuff. This is good for Bifrost, here increasing our melee damage during realm shifts, and then just a 25% resistance to all status effects, really strong. And then here just more damage is really good, and because my defense is already pretty high, as you can see in the top left corner. Freya's, it doesn't really matter. Her accessories, this is accessories that I like for her. Just making sure that more damage and then doing increased status effects. And then if I could, I would have this maxed out, but I don't have the pieces for it, so just a heads up. And then her summon, I like to use the Fireflies just because it keeps them stun locked inside this area, if you can keep them in this area. Sometimes you might hit them out of the area and they become unlocked. And then skills, not really much that needs to be said here. You can see from my choices I prefer status ailment and a little bit of damage, but aside from that there's not much here. So everything else is maxed. My rage, I just use Fury. I think it's really strong. Being able to get health and resist death and have lifesteal, really strong, while doing damage at the same time. Relic, of course, is a realm shift relic. We have to have that, really strong. Aside from that, let's go ahead and get into the fight. Right off the bat, what I like to do is I like to select her as a target. You can see the square or diamond indicating that she is selected. Highly recommend it because as soon as the battle begins, she's going to jump back and you can get a little bit of damage. You can just close the gap and get a little bit of damage, is what I believe I do. But by targeting her, your camera will follow her and it's going to just be a lot easier. So highly recommend you do that right off the bat. And let's go ahead and get into it. Exactly what we do. Get a little bit of damage in. Dodge, dodge, dodge. And you can see we get that damage in. As soon as we stagger her, we get our combos in. And we also chain it with the light runic attack. because typically she will do attacks right after we finish our combo. So we want to make sure that we are doing exactly that. So pulling it back a bit, you can see we activated Realm Shift, and I'm also using Freya's arrows as much as I can. I also meant to use a shield bash, but using fireflies also works too. But we got our shield bash here. Just make sure that you are constantly on Gna, because she will have those moments where you just have to run up and shield bash her. I thought I was able to hit her with this. I wasn't sure if it actually hit. But regardless, we were able to actually trigger another Realm Shift just by dodging. And unfortunately, we were unlucky with that. But we continue our dodging, continuing our shielding when we can. Ideally, we could just dodge the whole thing. Shield bash again, because we want to make sure she doesn't do anything with that, because it will stun you. And again, if you see that, just dodge. And you can see here, she did it twice. It can go up to 3 times, just like in Sigrun. So just be sure that you are watching to see if she does it a 3rd time. Sometimes she only does it once or twice, but sometimes she could do it 3. So just be sure that you are watching for that. And so that was a thing that we could have blocked, but we also dodged it. So it was pretty nice for that. This one, same thing. We want to keep just dodging. I don't even have my camera locked on her, but what I did was I counted 1, 2, 3, because I saw her body coming out on the sides of my screen. So I just kept dodging regardless if she was actually doing it or not, because I don't want it to take that damage where she's kind of stomping on your face. It does a lot of damage. So it's better to just keep dodging until you hear or see her, knowing that she's done with her animations. Just like Sigrun as well. So if you're familiar with that fight, you'll know exactly what that is. We couldn't block the first one, but we could block the second one. Here I trigger my Realm Shift because I'm pretty close to taking her out. She's got less than 3 health bars at this point, so might as well keep the onslaught going. Dodge. Unfortunately, I didn't dodge. She does get a power up when she's below 2 bars. You can see in her eyes she has a power up, so her attacks are a bit more lethal, and she does more crazier attacks, I should say. Just stuff that will pin you down, sort of thing. You could see here, I took a massive amount of damage because I was kind of getting greedy here. I want to leave this in though because of how quickly this fight can turn. Let's go ahead and go back. Look how much health I have. I have a decent amount of health, and I did get greedy because I also saw that I got the concussive HP drop, and that's another reason why too we're adding the Stonecutter's knob to this, because we're getting that concussive damage, because it does a significant amount of damage if you can get that bar fully up. But look how much HP I have right here. I'm thinking, okay, I could do it. I was trying to dodge here, but I dodged into the Bifrost. If I dodged left, probably would have avoided this, but I dodged the wrong way. But you could see how much damage this did. And at this point, I wasn't looking at my HP because I was more focused on trying to find her. But look what happens because of that. She instantly downed me. Now, I kept this in because I wanted to show again how quickly fights can change. I went from half HP to dead. Now, I could have Spartan Raged and I would have probably avoided that whole issue. But again, just don't be greedy with the fight. I want you to keep that in mind. Just don't be greedy. We use our Spartan Rage to finish this off. It's easy. We could have probably done it without this, without going down if we used our Spartan Rage earlier. But it's just, sometimes she just chains really well, and it's unfortunate. So you see, we get the win. Make sure you have your Resurrection Stone so you can make sure you come out on top. And that's pretty much it to the fight. So aside from that, I believe you got it. And as always, I'll see you guys next time, and have a good one. One quick thing I want to point out, Gna will sometimes do this attack where she either holds up her sword and there's a purple sigil around it, in which case you would use purple arrows. But sometimes she'll do this attack where she will show the sound stone, where Atreus would shoot it with his sonic arrows and it explodes the stone. So if you see that, make sure to have Freya either use her sonic arrows or her sigil arrows, depending on what Gna is using. I just wanted to point this out because in the fight that I use. She doesn't do any of those attacks, but I still wanted to point it out because sometimes it's not too obvious. Like it was almost kind of hard to see that green sonic arrow kind of come through, or the green sonic indicator come through on her attack. But you can see it's there, right there. But I take it out really quickly.